This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we promised you. Alain Poupart, as always, joins us in the post-game show. Talk a little Miami Dolphins with the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report. So, a couple things here, Mr. Poupart. By the way, if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. First of all, the call by Flo. I love the first time that he was there and he tried to draw him off sides. The only thing I was complaining about was you should have brought in Brissett, and that really would have sold it that you're trying to do a quarterback sneak and you're trying to draw him off side. Fine, you punt, smart. This time around, you actually went for it with no offensive line and no defense that's reliable. What the hell went on there, dude? That decision was terrible.
Well, if only there was some sort of historical precedent this season of Malcolm Brown getting stuffed on 4th and 1, right?
Right. Yes.
So yeah, that's the part I don't like. Taking a shotgun snap with a deep handoff like that, not sure I'm crazy about that either.
Yeah.
Well, no, again, why do you not have Jacoby Brissett in the lineup on that particular play? Now, is it possible that his hamstring is preventing him from pushing off at the line of scrimmage and he can't do the quarterback sneak? Maybe. But again, you put him in there on 4th and 1, immediately the Jacksonville defense is thinking it's a Jacoby Brissett QB sneak. So even if you don't want to go that route, you've got that thought in the head of the Jacksonville defense. But I think pretty much the time has come, no offense to Malcolm Brown, but to shelve the idea of giving him the ball on 4th and 1, because obviously it doesn't work. Right. It hasn't worked before. I don't mind them going for it. I mean, come on, you got to be able to pick up a yard against Jacksonville. Understanding that there was a big risk involved, and as it played out, they wound up biting him.
And what'd you think of the referees missing the touchdown, because that clearly hit the guy's finger? I was able to even put a picture out that I was able to screenshot it, and it was obvious that it hit the finger, and that should have been a touchdown also for the Dolphins.
You know what? I had such a hard time with that one. I kept looking at it, and to me, you want to hear something? To me, I thought it actually might have hit his helmet more than his finger when it did the.
I got to look at it again now.
Say what? So I thought it might have glanced off his helmet, but it was. You don't see like the CBS folks were mentioning. You don't see like a major change of direction. You don't see the change of the spin. And for them, if they're going to go out and award a touchdown like that, you know there better be something very, very, very clear, very, very obvious. So I'll give you another one too. The 3rd down drop by Myles Gaskin that they initially called a catch. If they called that a catch at first, that's a tough one to overturn also. Because I know they were emphatic about the ball touched the ground, incomplete pass. Really? Could you clearly see that? I can clearly see that.
You really couldn't. But like you said, the initial call was no catch, so that's what's going to stay. And you're right. If they would have called it a catch, they probably would have kept it on the board because there wasn't conclusive evidence to overturn it, as they like to say. All right, they played hard today. They lost, okay? They're not the better team. Jags were the better team. They won. So the people that say Flores is losing the locker room, I don't know if that's true or not, but you're 1-5 now. So is Flo going to start losing this locker room at 1-5 because everything the coaches are selling is not working?
It's a dangerous slope right now. And here's the thing, and you and I have talked about this before. To me, last year, I looked at this as being a good lineup, but not necessarily a 10-6 roster. And then everything that could go right last year seemed to go right that led to 10-6. And this year, other than the opener against New England, it's the opposite. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong, and this is where you wind up at 1-5. I don't think they're a 1-5 team in terms of the talent level. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that they're not that horrible a team when it comes to the talent level. But it's like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. So, but to answer your original question, yeah, absolutely, it's a very dangerous spot right now. And look, they got the Falcons next week, and that's no gimme. Sorry, that's no gimme.
No, there's no such thing as a gimme for the Miami Dolphins. That doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
That has not existed at all. So yeah, this is a mission here to see what. I mean, at this point, now I know what we're looking at. We're looking at Tua's development at this point. That's about the peak of what you're going to do now. But what are you selling to this team if you're the coaching staff?
That's a great question. You're selling to the team. It's a 17-game season. I don't know. I don't know what the stats say about a 1-5 team coming back to make the playoffs, but that could be a tough sell.
Yeah.
Show some pride. You do have some couple of guys playing for contracts, and I don't think playing hard is an issue. Agba again played hard again today. Got a sack. Gesicki had another big performance. Those are guys you have to make decisions on.
Yeah, he was really good today. He was really good today, Gesicki, on catching passes just 1 yard short of first down. That was.
I knew you were going there, and it's like if I have to see him one more time head to the sideline and reach out with his arm to try to get the football over the first down marker, I'm going to scream. It's like, dude, run your route past the sticks, will you?
I mean, come on, dude. It's like, I wonder, was he supposed to run it past the sticks? Was that the play? I would hope so, right? I mean,
one would hope, especially if he's running towards the sideline where gaining extra yardage after the catch is difficult. One would hope.
All right. So as you know, the fan base wants blood. They want somebody to pay for this. Dave Hyde actually had an interesting article today, how he kind of outlined how this trip has cost somebody a job every single time lately. Mm-hmm. Is this trip going to cost somebody a job tomorrow?
I hate to be the one to make that prediction. Let's put it this way. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. I think it's really a bad look. This is not good for Stephen Ross. He's at the game. He's watching it. He was at the game last week with Roger Goodell sitting right next to him, watching the Dolphins lose to the Colts. This is a guy, I mean, he's 81 years old. He wants to win. He's never been afraid to put money into the product. So at some point, if you were to say, listen, something needs to happen, would not surprise me in the least. Let's put it that way.
All right, so I'm going to put the writer for Sports Illustrated covering the Miami Dolphins, Alain Poupart, in an incredibly uncomfortable situation. Who's the person that is first on the firing line?
Jesus.
If you had to guess, who does Ross, because I don't think Flo will fire anybody. I don't think he wants to fire anybody because it's an indictment on him if he fires somebody, because he is firing a weakness that he brought onto the team. So,
but he did that with Joe Philbin.
It's going to be either Ross that says, Greer, Flo, an offensive coach, a defensive coach, give me a head. I need a head to roll. Will it be Ross or will it be Flo? And who is it?
Here's the thing, and I always have a problem with everybody like pointing the finger at Chris Greer, because I've said before, if we think for half a second that Flo doesn't have his signature on practically every personnel move that's made, you're crazy. Okay,
I know.
So why is to me Flo and Chris Greer have to be a package, and I don't know that you make if you make a move right now. I've never heard of I've heard of it, but it's kind of weird to me then to make Chris Greer the scapegoat and dump him in right now. So if anybody would go, you're going to fire Josh Boyer because the defense is underperforming after it played so well last year. That could be a guy maybe if you're looking for a name of somebody who could be in trouble. offensively. I mean, Tua threw for 320, was it 329 yards? So
he wasn't a problem. He had one bad throw today.
No, he wasn't. No, I mean, I'm saying he wasn't a problem, and that doesn't suggest that the offensive coordinators would be in trouble. So if you're putting me down and asking me for a name, I think the most vulnerable, if something were to happen, I think it would be either Ross with Brian Flores, which I still would find unlikely, or maybe Josh Boyer.
Tell you. All right. You just mentioned them, Tua. Outside of the one pass that he should have put a little more mustard to get it over to the guy, to get it to the receiver, and he couldn't get it to him, unfortunately. That was the bad pass. He also had the brain fart on the 3rd and 2 that he should have kept running for the damn thing instead of throwing the incompletion. But he was able to make up for it after on 4th down. So that was fine. But I thought overall he played a pretty damn good game, and the line did a decent job of giving him time.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much, I would say, about as good a performance as we could have hoped for, considering he hadn't played in 3 weeks. Now, mind you, we have to mention the fact that it was against Jacksonville, which is god-awful on defense.
Yeah.
At every level. So I think even Atlanta, which is not a great defense, is going to be a much better test. But against you, I mean, you can only play who your opponent is. So having said all that, yeah, I thought he looked very impressive. That first drive was spectacular. Even to me, maybe his best throw of the game was the first 3rd down completion to Jalen Waddle when he had somebody like right in his pocket, and he still was able to get off the throw and complete it for a 1st down. That was really good. And he had some really nice throws when he can throw the crosser, the quick slant. That's his forte. So, yeah, I had no major issue with Tua's performance other than the two little hiccups you mentioned.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I thought he actually played really well overall, man. I was impressed with the young man, considering he'd been out for a few weeks, like you said. I thought overall he was pretty damn sharp, and who knows, maybe even standing on the sidelines, normally you don't get better, but it does give you a different perspective, and maybe that helped him out a little bit to see what was going on. I thought it was interesting in the press conference with you guys a couple days ago when he was talking about how it's still a whole different ball game being in the game and then being on the sidelines, because you got to make sure everybody's in the right spot. I remember there was one moment early in the game where he had to grab a receiver by the neck and like, yo, you get your ass over here, man. You need to be over there. You know, that kind of stuff. So there's more responsibility. Obviously, there's more on your plate when you're on the field, literally. But I like what I saw from the kid. It's just frustrating now, man, to see how you sell this season of players. What do fans have to look forward to now? What would you tell a fan right now, Alan, as we wrap it up? How would you tell a fan, what do they have to look forward to?
Well, for the fans, to me, it's clearly about watch Tua develop, and let's see if he shows more signs that he can be the guy moving forward, and that the Dolphins don't need to worry about the quarterback position after the 2021 season. I think that's the appeal for the fans for the rest of this season, because again, if we're talking playoffs here, let's be realistic. 1-5 start, probably not happening. And no, that's the key. That's the key to the rest of the season, and that's what's most important for the team and for the fans. It's, watch Tua and then see him develop.
All right, one more thing. I just thought about this. Trading deadline's right around the corner. This season's done. You're not playing for anything team-wise. Is somebody getting traded?
I'll tell you one guy I would think the Dolphins would severely consider trading if they get a decent offer. Exactly. Bingo. Because they have to readdress his contract after the season. And their appetite.
And they're going to look at him and say, give you money for what? So how you played? No, I'm not giving you any more money. You didn't earn the money we just gave you. Right? That's what's going to end up happening in the negotiations. They're going to tell him you didn't even play well this year. Right?
Yep. No, that's the guy. That's a guy who really jumps out. I don't know what kind of market there might be for Parker. I don't know I have to examine the salary ramifications. I know,
Yeah.
dude. I see the faces you're making.
Yeah, Parker's untradeable, dude. You can't get a 6-pack of Schaefer for him right now.
You got a 6 for Jakeem. I think you can do better than that for Parker.
Well, I hate to say this, but Jakeem at least has accomplished something that Parker never has. He'll never be in the record books for Miami. This kid's at least the greatest returner we've ever had.
Fair.
So at least it's something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Parker hasn't done anything except gotten injured a lot.
But you're acting like the guy's a bum. I mean, when he played 16 games in 2019, he was really, really, really good.
He was, but the problem is he's so injury prone. That's why I know the ability is there. I'm with you that he can help you, but he's unreliable, and that's why I think he's untradeable, because he's unreliable. That's all. That's the only reason. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. You feeling better, by the way?
Getting there.
You good? Okay. All right, good. We're getting there. All right, catch him throughout the week. Make sure you check him out on Sports Illustrated and follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And you can catch him here with the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Alan, thank you for taking some time.
You got it. You be good.
There you go, my man. Thank you. There he is, Alain Poupart with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.